this is a Swift Conqueror 645. This is going to take you through the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, got a jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker, you've got your 2 gas bottle tie downs. We do have gas bottles available here to purchase should you need to. And we also have the gas pipe work that goes from the regulator to the top of the gas bottles as well. Again, should you need to buy them. Coming down the side of the caravan, we have our battery box with your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. I'll show you this in more detail when you're here on site, but the flap opens and you've got your battery one side, which isn't with the van, and then you've got your mains power lead coming in. Again, if you do need a battery while you're here during the handover, we can supply them for £75. Water pump connection, very simple to use. Blue trigger on the back here, you release it and push it into place by pulling back the blue trigger and releasing and pushing it into place and locking in. You then got the pickup pipe that drops down inside the acro roll, and you fill the water system on the inside of the van, which I'll show you in a moment once you go inside. You do need to make sure the water pump is fully submerged in the water prior to turning the pump on, as if not, you'll get an airlock in the water system. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll demonstrate the motor mover when we hook up to the car and show you how that operates. The fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere. That's where these 2 grey pipes down the side here come in, so you'll open these up, and you'll put 2 bits of grey pipe into these large diameter holes, then drop them down inside your Wastemaster. At the back of the van, you've got your Aldi heating and hot water flue. The heating system runs from the inside of the van, so again, I'll demonstrate this once we go inside. You never cover up this flue, as it needs to be open at all times, a bit like the flue on the side of your house. On the back of the van, you've got 2 wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. There's also 2 that come in from the front on either side. Coming down the door side of the caravan, you've got your toilet flush tank, so we'll open this up, put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then in the bottom, we have our toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In that cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. Behind the door, on either side, you've got on this side of the van, you've got your fridge vents. 2 fridge vents, very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. And behind one of those, you'll also find a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. So with that being said, you never cover these up, you always leave them open. Front locker accesses a storage underneath, is a wet storage locker for the front of the van. And you've got your barbecue gas point and the last of your wind down legs. Going on to the inside of the caravan now, I'm going to show you how to operate the inside of the van. So above the door, as we come into the caravan, you've got your main control panel. So you'll need to hit the power button here to turn the power on. So turn the water pump off for a moment, because I'll come back to this. Leisure battery voltage on the left-hand side here, which you can press view levels, and it'll bring up how much water you have in the onboard water storage tank and the leisure battery on board the van. And then you've got your mains power coming into the caravan, and you've got an indicator on the caravan here again, so that mains power is coming to the van. If you've got the car connected, you'll have an orange light above the car. If you're towing down the road, you'll need to select which battery you want to use. So you turn the control panel on, hit battery select, and it'll go over to the vehicle battery on the right hand side. Then you can turn the control panel back off. The first thing you're going to need to do on board the caravan is fill the water system up. So to do this, open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. Open all the taps up wide open. Come underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan. And underneath the bed at the back of the van, you'll find, just down the left-hand side here, a yellow valve. That yellow valve needs to be flat with the floor as it is at the moment to fill the water system up. To drain the water system down, you'd lift that valve upright so it drains the water system down completely. That'd only be after you've finished using the caravan, once you've been on holiday. And with that valve open, it will drain the system down, but you'll also need to open all the taps up on board the caravan in the central position. And we do also advise, when you're draining it down, to put the shower head down to the floor with the shower head off, so it drains all the water out of the system. So, with all your taps open on the hot side, I'm just going to do the kitchen sink because the system's already filled, just to demonstrate how it works. You then come back to the control panel above the door and hit your water pump switch. Once the water pump is on, the green light will start flashing to indicate the water system is filling up. Once you have water running out continuously out the hot side of the tap, so you do need to have the hot side open to prime the water system, it means the water system is full. At that point, you shut all of the taps back off and you're ready to start warming the water on board the van. Once that water system is full, you come to the control panel on the left hand side above the door here, hit the store menu button, and at the moment the heating and hot water control panel is turned off, so at the moment this control panel isn't doing anything. So with the icon flashing here on the top right hand side, left hand side that says off, you're going to hit the on button and it will turn to the on position. Then use the arrow to come to the right, and the first thing we're going to come to is the room temperature for the caravan. Now to adjust the room temperature, which is currently at 30 degrees, you're going to use the minus or plus buttons to set the temperature. The higher you go, obviously the hotter the heating is going to be. To set your water temperature, you need to come across to the right and you have the option of on or off. The on will mean the hot water is warming up to the temperature, which is a preset temperature, and it will also boost when you shower on board the van. So the water temperature is now starting to warm up, as you can see. So what we need to do next is select a power source to use. So if we come across to the right here, you've got the option to run gas. So with your gas bottle connected in the front locker and turned on, you can set the gas to on or off by using the down or up button, and that is the flame symbol that you see here. So thermometer is your room temperature, tap is your water on or off, hot water that is. You've then got your gas option, so gas on or off. Then if we come across to the right hand side again, you've got the option to run 240 mains for your heating and hot water system. So you've got 1 or 2 kilowatts that you can use on this particular caravan. So depending on what caravan site you're on will depend on what you set this to. Here on site we can run a maximum of 1 kilowatt, so that is what we're going to set the heating to run on. In this control panel you do have some advanced options, but for these we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, as it is quite an in-depth system. And if you're not sure what you're doing with these, we do advise you stay with the standard settings at the top here, rather than setting programs for your heating and hot water, as it can potentially turn off the systems in the back of the control panel. So that's your heating and hot water systems. If you ever want to turn this off, you just go back across to the off position, hit off, and it will turn the heating and hot water control panel off. Top right hand side here, you've just got an indicator to say that you've got mains power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you are on. So that's your heating and hot water and how they operate. The next thing, one thing I'm just going to show you is the main trip switches for the caravan. These are quite handy to know where they are. So underneath the seat on the right hand side front of the caravan, you've got a master system shutdown, which you press in and the button pops out, so it isolates all the power on board the caravan. You've then got your 12 volt fuses for the 12 volt systems on board the caravan. On the right hand side here, you've got your 240 trip switches. To test if you have mains power coming to the caravan, hit the test button here, and if this switch drops down like it's just done, that means there is mains power coming from the power post on the outside of the caravan. You've then got your charger, which you need to have on at all times, your space heater, which you need to have on at all times, and your water heater on at all times. If you want to isolate the power, like I said, just hit this button here, and it will pop out, and it will isolate all the power on board the caravan. The next thing we come to is the fridge. Now to operate the fridge, press and hold the power button. I'm just going to turn it off first of all. Sorry the screen hasn't cleared up yet, there we go. Press the power button and the power to the fridge will come back on. So, symbol here indicates you have that we're on mains power, and the blue dot here, because it isn't flashing and it's solid blue, means the fridge system is working on the 240 mains. You can control the fridge temperature on the button on the right hand side here. You can change the power source by hitting the black button on the left hand side, and then you've got the option of 12 volt mains coming into the caravan from the car you are towing with. So this will only work if you are connected to the car and you have the right connection on the car. At the moment we're not connected to the car, so it's flashing blue here to indicate there is no 12 volt power to the fridge. Hit the button on the right hand side here and you've got the option to run gas. Now the fridge will self-ignite on gas as long as the gas is turned on in the front locker and it is connected correctly. If it fails to ignite on gas, it's going to flash this blue light below to indicate a fail to ignite. The blue side light is an ignite. Again, on gas you can control the fridge temperature on the button on the right hand side here, and if you have all the bars lit up, that is its coldest setting. Hob grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances. You do need to remember though, if you have no 240 mains going into the caravan, you will have no 240 mains to the hob itself. The same as with the microwave, so if you're not on a 240 site, you'll have no microwave or electric ring on the back of the hob. However, when you're on 240, they all work very much the same as household appliances. Last thing we go through on the caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. So, on the toilet, you have an electric flush on top here, which allows the toilet system to flush. You have a red indicator light here that's going to illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see here. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, this grey waste handle needs to be in the central position as it is now. But when you're using the toilet, you'll need to have it in this right hand position, so pull towards us essentially here, so it allows the waste into the cassette. So that is the Swift Conqueror 645. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye bye.